I'm sorry these guys started just as we did. First of all, as you can see, as usual, we're kind of crammed in here in the paddock, and I know you guys were just at RLL. They might have a little bit more space, but not much, right? Because the Macintosh car isn't yellow and blue, some people don't even realize that we're running two cars. But yeah, because there is no yellow and blue Turner Motorsport car, it's a little deceiving sometimes. But obviously, the Liqui Moly car has been a staple in the Turner series for a while, and then the Macintosh car is new for this year. This is the first race where the Macintosh car is actually in the GTD class. It was in the GTD Pro class before, so at the first two endurance races. So we didn't have two cars competing against each other. But since this is the first race of the Sprint series, now they're both in GTD, and we're actually competing. The two cars are competing. So Patrick and Chandler are, Chandler's in the 97 now, and Patrick's in the 96. So these guys are the starting drivers here, and they've never been here before. And as you know, you have no time. You can't come here and practice, right? So besides getting on the simulator, and I know they both were on the sim. I don't know who was on it more. Yeah,
I watched more video.
Okay, video, sim. But as a team owner, of course, you want your drivers to, especially as a new track, you want them to come up to speed quickly, so that you can focus on the other stuff you have to focus. You don't have to necessarily give them a lot of car time to learn the track. And I'm happy to say that both these guys, within 7 or 8 laps, were on pace, which is awesome, because this place is difficult, and it's also very difficult to pass. And in years past, you see qualifying is super important. Unfortunately, we didn't qualify where we wanted. I think we zigged in the car setup instead of zagged. But we just had a 2-hour strategy meeting, maybe a combined 2-hour strategy meeting, about how we're going to try to leapfrog. But I guess, first, just while there's a little break here, Patrick, you haven't been here, you watch videos. What's it like driving on this course? And is there a scary part, or are you too cool and it's nothing scary?
I mean, I feel like the start might be scary, so nothing to report yet, but maybe after the race have a different answer. I've done some other street circuits. Obviously, this one relates probably the most to St. Petersburg because it's been running for so long, right? It's kind of a staple, and it's more of a racetrack, where I've been to some other ones that were only 1 year, and it was pretty terrible. This place is really, really fun. Super excited to be here, and it's challenging, but luckily I leaned on Robby a lot before the event. We watched a lot of video together and notes back and forth, so you kind of feel like you've been here before, but until you see it with your own eyes, it's a bit daunting. Lap 6 or 7, you get rolling, and it's just another racetrack, right?
So Patrick and Robby are in the 96 car, right? And they actually kind of went through the ranks of stuff and raced against each other in Mazdas for years, and now rejoined as teammates, which is great. And again, Robby, in GTD, you need to have a silver matched, or you have to have a silver in your car. Last year, Robby was my silver, and unfortunately and fortunately, BMW decided to sign him as a BMW driver, and that moved him out of a silver driver to be a gold. So he got a promotion, but there was a disadvantage in that too, because we had to find a silver for him to race with. So again, Patrick's his silver. They've been racing against each other. Now they're racing with each other. They've been friends. They share some of the same kind of driving philosophies and stuff. So it's a great pairing. And this is the first race of the Sprint Series, so there is no third driver like there has been at Sebring and Daytona. So it's an interesting dynamic, and looking forward to that. So that leaves Bill and Chandler in the 97 car now. So for those of you who don't know Chandler, he is not new to BMWs or not new to racing, and specifically, he's already won a championship this year in a BMW M4 in the Asian Le Mans Series. And not only did he do Asian Le Mans Series in this GT3 M4, but he does SRO in an M4, and he's done Daytona and Sebring. So he's already raced more this year than these guys will race this season. So again, awesome to have Chandler with us this year, and he happens to have some guy, Bill Auberlen, as his teammate, who's won this Long Beach race a lot.
The new guy.
Yeah, and so Chandler, no pressure, right? Obviously, but what I said to Chandler is I was like, when you're coming here, you know this car, like this car must fit you like a glove. Now you've had so much experience, recent experience in it. All you got to do is just drive around this little street course and see what happens, right?
Yeah,
what do you think?
Exactly. Yeah, being in the car so much, it helps be comfortable with the car itself. So I've never been to a street course, let alone Long Beach. So I'm glad to have Mr. Long Beach alongside me. He's giving me some pointers of which walls I can and cannot hit if I need to. But yeah, he says there's some you can hit.
Hit is a strong word.
Graze, caress. Yeah. But yeah, like Patrick said, after a handful of laps, you kind of figure out your way around here. And I got out of the car after practice yesterday with a big smile on my face, and my only response to the engineers was, "This place is fun." So I'm really looking forward to it. Like again, what Patrick said, I spent a lot of time video and data to try to prepare myself the best, and figure out the best way around here, and then we'll let you know how the start goes.
I guess they'll see, right?
Yeah.
They can find a spot.
You guys can see.
So one thing that's unique, again, you guys have been here to Long Beach before, but to remind you, one thing that is unique is this race is only 100 minutes, right? And the minimum drive time, as per the rules, is 35 minutes. At 35 minutes, if we stopped at 35 minutes, we'd satisfy that rule, but we'd also be able to put enough fuel in the car to go the rest of the way. So Bill can explain to you what that means as far as strategy, because he's probably come up with 300 different scenarios depending on how the start goes, where everybody is, what happens, how many yellows. So Bill, what does that mean? If you stop at 35 minutes, what does that mean?
I don't know what that means. So Chandler has to, by the rules, do 35 minutes, and then oddly you will, while you hit right at 35, 36, 37, so that you protect against the yellow. If of course yellow comes out, then you get stuck behind the pace car. Everybody that's pitted is going to go right ahead of you. So you're doing this balancing act. Do we hit right at that time? And if there is a yellow, let's say at 20 minutes, you come in, do your tire change, do your fuel service, even though we can't get out, and then we have a super short stop shortly there later. Maybe you leapfrog people at that point. So these are the strategies that you play out in your mind. We have worked on a lot of things here that people don't realize, right? Fuel dumps and optimizing the fuel flow in our restrictors and our rigs to be spot on. Our driver change, we did 50 changes yesterday to make sure that we can get down to that 12-second mark. And every nuance of where he puts a belt, how he buckles in, it is absolutely choreographed, right? So that's down to that. And then all that probably flies out the window, the race starts, and everybody goes banging into each other, and you try to crawl your way up here and get to the lead. We've won this race a fair amount of times in a BMW. I love this race. It's my home track. These two lunatics are full of like 7 and 8, so they're side by side, which is going to be very interesting to watch. And hopefully Chandler gives me the car one position ahead of him, because he's going to be happy to follow me for the rest of the race. And he'll protect me from the rear. Right? And the crazy thing is I drove with him for quite a few years, and I've taught him everything I do, and he happened to absorb it all, so now he knows everything I'm about to do before I do it, which is not awesome. Right? So that's a little bit of, it's going to work against me. But again, as the race unfolds, you have all these strategies in play, and there probably a few are going to kind of go out the window, and you're going to have to do audibles and call it, and just do the best you can, stay clean. And if you put this thing on the wall too hard, you're going to be out of the race. These walls are unforgiving. You can graze the wall, which is a lot of times. I've come off the corner literally 50 times, and I've gotten, like, I think I'm going to hear a special, like, it didn't hit. You must be this close. And if you just touch it a little bit, you'll be all right. You hit it with the corner, you're out. So get it to the end and get it there clean, and hopefully get on that podium.
Hey, so Robby, if if he taught you everything he knows, which I doubt, if perchance you come out nose to tail, what do you do?
I mean, we've done that before in a different series, and had a lot of fun doing that. But I think we have fast cars today. Qualifying was a little bit of a mess. You guys probably saw red flags, crashing, cold weather. So I think we can work together and move our way forward. Yeah, the race will be interesting. You guys might see a car fall to the back and be like, oh, what are they doing? And then all of a sudden, 20 minutes later, they're at the front. So it's a very short race with kind of small windows, so the options aren't massive in strategy, but you'd be surprised. Like Bill's won this race after being, his teammate was spun in turn 1. That just gives you another option to take advantage of strategy. So it's a little bit of luck, timing yellows. These new prototype cars are very fast once they get going, but they take a lot longer to get up to speed. So we're actually quicker than them, lap time wise, for about 6 or 7 laps when they're on new tires, which is very hard for us and very hard for them. So if you get in some kind of mix and time it wrong, it could be very interesting. So look out for that at the start, and we'll try to march our way forward.
How about questions before I let these guys go eat lunch? I don't know why they have to eat, but they claim they have to eat. Any questions for stuff? Yeah, okay. Did you hear that? The question, where do you guys like to pass?
It's pretty hard. The obvious places are after big straightaways, but they're actually not really that long, and if a car gets a nice run, you really have to be alongside because the brake zones are short. So you'll see people dive bombing, and it doesn't end so well.